Albert, what you do behind closed doors is none of my business.
No, I don't swing that way. I'm just being
You
real.
want a drinking glass or no?
Did you eat the Big Mac or did you shove
This
it
is
up your rectum?
1920.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
curious.
What had happened was,
What happened
why you poured a 1920?
He gets one, I don't. The old Forester, eh?
Because you didn't pour one for yourself, that's why.
We didn't. Wait a minute. This isn't a co-op glass.
No, these are their free drink glasses.
Oh. I mean, I can pre-drink early times. Also, when we go through it, we all gonna have a pour of each or something like that, or something? Is that how it's
So, Greg can explain it because I honestly don't know.
done? Okay.
Are these glasses in the right spot?
Yep.
What I'm going to try to make
Sharing
is some kind of black wall behind here. Just
shows already.
so that it shows the
Oh.
Cleveland Bourbon Co-op in it.
Why is it gotta be about color?
Because that's how I roll.
Greggy.
So, what
If
do
we
you...
would just fill those with alcohol, then
Well, that's
we
what I'm
could
gonna do right now.
See it perfectly.
Alright, so Joe.
No, wait, that's not.
What?
You're on the end. It should be the second one in.
Let's give Joe the first one.
So that's mine. That's mine's.
That's my 3
Oh,
ounce.
okay, so you're doing lining them up. Nice, man.
We're racking again, man.
That one just says bourbon. It's just apple juice. That is
Generic.
your
bourbon.
Buffalo Trace
Single
barrel. Third base.
Third base.
What if it was only second base? Oh, dude, third base. That means you scored.
Scored heavy.
That was, you know what? You guys don't even want to know what third base is nowadays.
And this is 1920 in this.
1920 in that, yeah.
God, that's so good.
Whoa,
That is
am I
so
getting
good.
gypped over here?
You
Yep.
want some?
Yeah. Fuck you are.
Here.
Oh, from my bottle? Of course. Hey, you know we're filming,
Here,
right?
hang on.
Just so you know. We're on the
Oh,
box.
man.
Oh wait,
Lick that
this,
shit.
are we live?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here you go.
Hey, wipe your ass with that thing
Oh, I'm
first.
sorry.
Jeez,
Hey.
God, there you go. Now pour it.
Take
for
my
me.
hair.
I just shaved my armpit.
Off some stench, please. Hold the hairs.
I'm not pouring you that.
Did you say essentially? Yeah, at least you know there's one good thing going for us tonight. There's no pubes in there.
I almost changed things up and went with the
Oh shoot. Joe, can you sneak back there
fighting
What's up?
cock.
What you got?
and get the
What do you need?
1920 off the bar?
Yeah, Joe, quit screwing around.
Sorry. You're a lot smaller than I am, so no disrespect.
Goes in tight.
Goes in tight. Comes out
That
loose.
was the most epic sneeze ever. My mother thanks you. My father thanks you. My sister thanks you.
Yeah.
We all thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, where's it going?
Hey, welcome to the. I mean,
Karen, were you drinking anything out of yours or no?
you got any of
I'll
those blacks
try
over
that.
there?
Yeah,
How's it gonna be about
I got two. Here, wait, I think this one's
start it
open.
up.
This one's open. Is that one open too?
Open.
Get it going? Get it going, old Betty.
Come on now, you gotta start this engine. Come on, get it.
Give it some gas.
Woo! Hell yeah, man, we got some whiskey and cars. Yeah.
Put some whiskey in the food.
What was that movie with Tom Hardy when they were running booze?
Lawless.
Oh, that's
Wow. Oh, that's a great movie.
Isn't that a great?
That is, you know, I was
movie?
like, oh, Shillabih is in it, and then I was like, wow, he's actually really good in this. Shillabih.
That was a great movie.
Have you met Howard? He comes out there.
I gotta watch that again.
That's a great movie.
Mhm.
That is a great movie.
Show is.
Show you right.
Just threw something on the flow.
Force show here, boy. Come on now. You trying to shake me down? I want to have you. I'm gonna have. Wow, god damn,
That was a loud fart.
I'm gonna have you met Greg?
God. One of these days I'm just gonna have a heart attack right here in front of the table.
Hey guys, I think we've had enough practice. Why don't we go in on this? You want to introduce the show? Let's start the show.
Are we
I was
done?
touching myself, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. You guys ready? Ready to do this, Greg? Come on, get me amped up now. Welcome. This is the Whiskey Roundtable. shout out to the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op, and I just want to remind you guys that it's not just pleasure, this is our job to drink. We are your hosts. I'm Joe Clark.
Big G.
Albert Santilli.
And I'm Karen Helen Keller. You know what? I'm sorry.
No, do it. Go ahead.
Everybody keeps asking me, why are you Helen Keller? Like, I don't know that we've really answered that question.
Did we? No? Go ahead.
No, you guys tell this story a hell of a lot better than I do. And actually, you coined my nickname.
Well, I think we did at the first or second show that we did, but I will, since you're my wife, I will gladly tell everybody why we call you Helen Keller.
No, not your reason why you call me Helen.
Why?
The reason why I'm Helen Keller on the show.
The reason why Karen is Helen Keller on the show is because...
We'll get back to the other one later.
Karen did not know much about bourbons and whiskeys of Irish or, bourbons and different things, American and stuff like that. And she would shop for me at Christmas time, and she would always buy these bottles that that I've never had before, and I would not open them, and they would just sit on the bar for years. And Joe, one day we're sitting down here drinking, and Karen came down, and he's like, you should try this. You should try that. Did you ever open this stuff? No. Did you open this that I got? No.
She's
Did you open? So she goes, I bought you all this stuff throughout the last couple of years. You mean to tell me, for my birthday and everything else? Why don't I said, I don't know. I don't like this brand, and I don't like that brand, and that's what you happen to buy me. And she's like, well, I can't believe it. I spent all this money, blah blah blah. So anyhow, she talks me and Joe into opening all these different bottles of very, very expensive bourbons and whiskeys, and they were some of the finest.
Yeah. First one was Dalmore Cigar Malt.
Dalmore Cigar Malt.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
It was weird because at first we were kind of like knocking because she's like, oh, you like cigars? I got something with cigars. And I were like, oh, God, cigar tasting them. Scotch? How good can that be? Without researching it, we just left it there.
Right.
And then what was the other one? The really good one?
The Jack Daniel's Rusted Rye Batch Number 2.
Yeah.
So that is probably the finest rye whiskey I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And we did tell the story in one of our shows as well, where what are you doing?
What you got on there?
What you got on there? So we did tell the story about. I don't even want to know. So we did tell a story. The Rusted Rye. If you can find it, I've seen it on the secondary for as much as $500, and my brother in Texas, Stephen, stumbled across 4 bottles for me this past summer, and we were able to acquire those bottles as well. It is, if you ever get the opportunity, if you can find it, it's no longer in production, but it is the finest rye whiskey I've ever had. I'm not a big Jack Daniel's fan,
right,
but they have stepped up their game because I was used to the original Jack Daniel's, and I was
label.
Real, like I know it's more like traditional whiskey and stuff like that, but I didn't like that. All I could get out of it was the heat.
It was heat and sweet.
Yeah, heat and sweet.
And a bad sweet.
Yeah, so, we have, the Gentleman Jack is good. I like Gentleman Jack. Yeah. And we have Sinatra's, but we haven't opened that up yet.
Single barrel.
Yeah.
We didn't open that? Single barrel?
I haven't opened it.
Huh. Now, I want to try the single barrel proof they have.
Right.
130 proof.
So
Carl recently actually had some of that Rusted Rye Batch Number 2. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
And they were like, well, what did you think of it? He's like, this is one of the best whiskeys I've ever had.
Yeah, fantastic. so hence Karen got her name, Helen Keller, for not knowing what she was doing, but picking out some of the finest stuff that I have on the bar today. So
blindly picking.
Picking.
Literally.
Yeah. So that's where she got her name, Helen Keller. But there's more to the Helen Keller story, I should say.
Probably appropriate for the kids.
We've been married for a long time. Put the kids to bed. But anyway, all right. Sorry, Joe. Go back.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. Be sure to view us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And please, when you go to YouTube and watch the videos or through any of the other sites, please subscribe to the video. That helps us. Subscribe to our channel. That helps us a lot. If you want to be a guest on the show, like I said before, contact us. Bring your favorite whiskey, or if it's readily available, please an unopened bottle. If not, if it's something rare, then it can be open. Just let us know. I got a couple
We'll
of
take any bottle.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was brown from the bourbon. I
got
realized it
a
was
couple
beer.
of Hank announcements tonight.
All right.
He said, we are getting tons of requests for membership in the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op. Hence, many of our members are recommending people, which is great. The problem is there are 3 entry questions to gain membership that people are ignoring. We really need this trend to change. It is probably a percentage of 75 to 80% of the applicants now are not doing it. So we're not making it impossible to get in, but we really need people to follow the desired process. He sees what we want to do. We want to keep the members coming in just only Northeast Ohio. He sees it Northeast Ohio as Sandusky to Ashtabula to Youngstown to New Philadelphia to Mansfield. Kind of like a little map for you to be a member in the group from here on out. We got also, I'm going to post a picture here of the Greater Cleveland Food Bank presenting the $10,000. I believe it's actually $10,100 donation
awesome.
check. We wanted to thank Carl and Hank wanted to thank every member of the co-op who stepped up with money or bottles donated to make this a mind-blowing effort. This was a great example of what we are as a group and the kind of community our 1,000+ membership is and things that we can do. He asked me if I could show the pictures on here, which I'll do. I'll edit it in right here.
Right.
That's pretty much it on the announcements for now. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks. This is going to be a trend where they're going to give me some announcements every week to share with you guys. And I think it's great. That made me feel really good seeing that picture, with the check that everybody, we're in a group and we got to donate. That's a lot of money.
It
That's
is.
a
But,
ton of money.
we have said this since the beginning of the membership, and I am not a member of the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op. My wife is. And I'm not a member for a reason, nothing to do with the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op. It has to do with my employment. So, Hank, we said this from the beginning. Hank and Carl and the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op speak boundaries of the goodness of these people and how they are and the things that they do for a community. It's overwhelming. And we've had the pleasure a couple of times to actually sit down and hang out and get to know Hank and Carl on a much more personal level, and there's nothing that we don't back them in and nothing that we wouldn't do for them, and they know that. So again, hats off, congratulations, and keep up the good work, guys. Very good, very nice.
Absolutely. And tonight's show is about the barrel charring process. And we have a few different whiskeys here, which we'll announce. It's not so much a whiskey show today, a little bit, but is it about? It's just a little. We're going to do these episodes. We're going to have some education, so not every episode is going to be releasing a new whiskey or tasting something new. We'll try to find educational things to share with you guys if you don't know. Some of you do know, good for you, but this is for everybody, and I think it's a neat show to be very informative. So on that note, I'm going to change it over to you guys have cigars.
We do.
Yep.
So again, all of our cigars and ashtrays and cutters and lighters and all that come from Royal Havana Cigars. Dave Somrock, owner. 38448 Lakeshore Boulevard, which is Lakeshore and Lost Nation. Dave has been unbelievable as far as taking care of us with fresh cigars and contributing to the show. You guys got to stop in there. Go there, mention our name. You get 10% off your first purchase, and they have a boutique there. We do all kinds of special events as far as weddings or birthdays or anniversaries, Christmas. We do all that stuff, and they do some golf outings. All kinds of neat stuff. So, and you never know who you meet there. Great place to go. It's an old Cuban theme when you walk in the lounge. They have a great walk-in humidor. We're more on the higher end of cigars. We don't really have a bad cigar in there, even at an entry level. We get a lot of women in there. We have a lot of boutique-style cigars for women, and it's not uncommon to walk in and see females sitting down smoking. So, give them a shout. All right, thank you. Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
So what are you smoking tonight?
I am smoking a Raw Havana house cigar. This is an Ecuadorian Habano, filler and a Maduro wrapper. And this is what I prefer. This is what Dave gives us most of the time. I mean, he gives me some other cigars too. Our house cigars are fantastic. And they're like $6-7, and they're you'd think you're smoking a $10-12 cigar. So
Yeah, that's what you guys keep saying.
Yeah, it's really a great spot. And they have you get a light cigar, you can get a medium body, you can get a Maduro cigar, and then there's we have all the top name brands there. So check them out, man. Check them out. You're doing yourself a dissatisfaction if you don't at least take a ride and go visit that place at least one time.
Do they have Oscar leaf?
They do have Oscar leaf.
Nice.
Correct.
Oscar's
Correct.
been doing a good
Yep.
job. I like how they package it.
Yeah.
Wrapped tobacco leaf. You can tell it's like a present.
So Dave always fixes me up with the 660 because that's my favorite size, and I started on this one way before the show. I've probably been smoking this an hour and a half, so it's a nice long-lasting cigar, and it's good. It's good. It's burning nice. It's great.
What you got, Karen?
I go back to one of my favorites, the acid cigars. There's a few that Dave sells there, the acids, the Javas. I really like those. He's got this grape, and don't think like cheap grape cigars, but he's got these grape flavored cigars, and they are so stinking good.
They are. They've
When
got a
I
good
was
smell to
there
them, too.
last week, I bought the last ones. They're all gone now, so I've got to go get some. But the acids are great smell, great taste, sweet.
Yep.
Well, the real ones shouldn't taste or smell like anything.
What do you mean?
Real ones, what?
What do you mean?
Nothing. Never mind.
Oh my goodness.
Are you smoking anything tonight? You didn't light up, did you?
You didn't light
I
up.
didn't.
I
Blaze up.
offered him a cigar. Do you want a cigar or
Yeah,
not?
I'll take one now, man.
Oh my goodness.
Earlier I was,
Jeez.
I was,
I don't want to force you to take a
Guy.
free
I was
cigar.
taking a break. It's nothing.
Twist his
I'm on a
arm.
cleanse.
At least you appreciate it.
Cleanse,
all
what,
my-
I heard all about the cleanse.
All my other cheap friends are always
Still
looking for a
smoking and
cigar,
drinking.
but they never bring me
Huh?
one. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard about
I'm on a cleanse. I'm not
Yeah.
psychotic. Of course, I'm still smoking and drinking.
we heard about the McDonald's cleanse that you had over the.
Yeah. That was real good.
the McDonald's
Sorry.
cleanse. Do I need to?
Oh my God,
do
he
I
ate a
wanna
whole
know?
family pack.
Is that what you call a stogie when it's
You
that
ate
big?
a whole dinner box?
Go fetch
Yeah,
me my
you
stogie.
weren't here, but
Thank
I'm
God.
sure
Okay.
you just
I don't
Christmas
wanna-
you're gonna have to
vacation.
I don't
rewatch
know.
the show later, maybe watch it, and before you entered, there were some funny stories going on.
All right, that's all right. You're allowed.
Albert tore it up.
Did he?
That
Hey,
reminds
Griswold, if you ain't doing nothing, go fetch my stogie.
That reminds me of the article that I read on the website about Channel 8 had a story about a guy who was at Home Depot in Kansas or something. And he was in the bathroom and he had to let it go. And he told everybody, he's like, y'all better get out of here because I'm fixing to drop a bomb. Well, somebody took him seriously and thought it was a bomb threat.
Jesus. Oh my
True
God.
story. This is last
Yeah.
week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Did you
Last week
post
we-
that?
I did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. He's like, no, I was just warning people I was about to defecate. So, yeah. Somebody took him seriously, so careful what you say when you're in the bathroom.
That's true. Grab on to something.
I mean, is that what we've come to? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's what we've come to.
Yeah, pretty much. So I guess I'm really going to turn it over to you guys on the charred barrels at this point.
Okay. You want me to just run through a bunch of things
Yeah,
here?
let's go
Yeah,
to
let's
first.
start. See how
Why
it's
don't we
gonna
go first to second, and then we'll take a little break, so to say, and we'll talk about what we're drinking here.
Okay.
First to
You
second.
know what? Why don't-
Sorry, what do you mean?
So, barrels.
Oh,
Char 1, Char 2.
okay.
I'm gonna. Why don't you hand out your 2? Yours is that's Albert's.
That's Albert's.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Alberto.
Oh man, I love that drink.
Everybody
oh
in the
my
co-op is probably
goodness.
thinking, oh, no, Joe's going to be drinking.
Yeah.
He posts it every other goddamn day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we were talking about char barrels a few shows ago, and Greg thought it would be a good idea to.
Sorry, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna smack him.
He needs a smack.
Greg thought it would be a good idea to do a show just on the charring, so that's why we're taking a little break. It's a BYOB show, and we all brought our different barrels,
Bring
like
your
you
own
guys
boobies.
said. So chars. So from what we found, that char levels can go from a level 1 to a level 7, and as we had mentioned before on the other show, the lower the char, the less the burn.
Mhm.
So a char 1 is burned for, the inside of the barrel is burned for 15 seconds. It's very rare that you're going to find a level 1 charred bourbon anywhere. Level 2, they burn the barrel for 30 seconds. I have not found a level 2 char either. Most of the chars that you find on the shelf are either a char number 3, which is burned for 35 seconds, or a char number 4, which is burned for 55 seconds. There was a char number 7 that Buffalo Trace put out as a limited release, and I think we had talked about that as well when we did our Buffalo Trace show. I don't know what it's called. All I know is a limited release char number 7.
What was that?
I'll tell you
Say
what,
that again.
it wasn't the white dog, that's for sure.
What are you talking about?
No. The Buffalo Trace, the limited release that they put out, the char number 7,
What is that turn? We are.
and it's burned for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
3.5 minutes.
3.5.
Was that one of their antique collection stuff or one of the?
I wish I knew. I can check
Is
it
that
out
the-
and find out.
Yeah, I forget what that is.
Not
It's killing me.
sure.
Oh well.
But that's the only one that I know of. Like I said, most of them are a 3 or a 4. If you hear an alligator char, that's usually a char number 4. I have seen it referred to as a char number 3 on a limited occasion, but a char number 4 is called an alligator because after they burn the barrel, that's the pattern on the inside of the barrel. It looks like alligator skin. So
Yeah.
you'll also hear char number 4, alligator skin. And the reason for charring the inside of the bottles, or the barrels, sorry, it actually, to be a bourbon, you have to char the inside of the barrels. And the longer that you char, not only does it bring out more flavor, but typically it brings out additional colors, darker colors, the longer that you char it. So the bourbons that we have here, most of them are a 4. Albert's got the 4 Roses, which can be anywhere from a char number 3 to a char number 4. So I'm not sure on this one if it's a 3 or a 4. It looks a little bit lighter than the Russell's Reserve, so I don't know if that means it's a 3. But Greg, I'm looking at your Buffalo Trace, and that looks lighter than the Russell's Reserve
Right.
too.
I
as
got the
well
lightest
as the
one
Early
up there.
Times,
Right.
so
Early Times looks like the darkest one.
Yeah.
You guys hear that? That's what charring the barrel actually sounds like.
Oh wow.
Barrels are going through the process.
that's
Oh, wow.
sweet.
Yeah,
There's
nice.
a conveyor belt and the fire's going up through the barrels.
Huh. I wonder if you could capture any of that and put that on the show as well. No,
Yeah,
you
that's
can.
cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Good, Albert. Fantastic on that. Very
Look
good.
at you. Look
Oh,
at
that's
Look at
pretty
you,
cool.
Albert.
Wow.
Who knew? We just
Hey,
thought you were
hey guys,
good.
he's
we
not
just,
an asshole.
We just thought
He's
you were a
alright.
good-looking
Hey, don't
rich
tell
kid.
them what to
It's
look at
moment
when
in
they're
time.
listening to a podcast. Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, you want me to go on? Do we want to take a couple sips?
Yeah,
and,
let's take
and then do some more? Or?
Yeah, let's take a couple sips and you want to do? Why don't we? I'll do some. You want to do one, and then she can go on, and then they can do their little taste. Is that okay
you
with
go
you?
First.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go first.
However you want to do it. Yep. So you
So-
guys do it.
I'm out of order here as far as the bottle, so I apologize.
So, Greg, you've got Buffalo Trace, which is an
Single
80 proof,
Yep.
number 4 char.
All right. I think single barrel is 90 proof, isn't it?
Oh,
Yes,
is that
it's a
single
90
barrel?
proof,
Okay,
yeah.
I just pulled the
90 proof.
regular.
Regular.
Regurgitar.
So as always, I always smell that vanilla and the caramel. It's definitely got a sweetness smell to it. Very, very good.
That is a pungent. Like, you know, a lot of Buffalo Trace products, you know, they have that familiar smell. They're always very aromatic and smelly. You can open those bottles and you smell them from feet away. You know what I mean?
It's true.
But that Buffalo Trace single barrel is really, really, it's got a lot of smells to it. You know what I mean?
Is that what he poured me over here?
No.
No, you
your own.
have you.
19.
Yeah,
Well, this was-
that's 1920.
Okay.
That's
So that's not my
1920.
own.
That was just
I
our.
had 4
That was
roses.
our beginner sipper. So.
I was drinking on 4 roses earlier.
What is he
So-
drinking on in his?
This is his 4 Roses.
This
Oh,
is,
okay.
No,
We'll come back- we'll
This
come
is
back to
1920 now.
No. Oh, Jesus.
Not in your
That's
bourbon co-op
in your
glass.
bourbon co-op glass.
That's
That
the
is
4
4
Roses.
Hidden bourbon
Oh,
co-op
okay.
glasses
All right,
as
all right.
always. Thank
Yes.
you again.
Yes, we always use the co-op glasses.
Okay, I smell the difference now. Good. All right, we're in there.
So I get very little heat. It's got great flavor. The palate, you do taste the sweetness to it. You can taste the vanilla and the caramel. It's very, very good. Very, very good. We're not getting into a lot of heavy history or notes and palate, as we've done each one of these on the show before. So we're just kind of breezing through. We're just hanging out talking about barrels today. But if you ever find Buffalo Trace single barrel, it's not available in Ohio. The last time I've seen it here has been 2 years ago for a quick minute. And then I think one of the liquor stores, I think it was Market District, they had one bottle of the 175 liter, which I didn't know they made, that sat on the shelf there for 3 weeks before somebody recently, yes.
Yeah.
And
it had the sticker, and you missed it.
I did. I saw, it's like, you know what, I got so many of the 175s, I didn't even go over and look at it. I said, screw it, I got so many, I was just going to buy it, to find out that like a couple weeks later we were talking to the manager, and he was the one that said, I had a Buffalo Trace single barrel 175 liter, and I go, yeah, it was right over there. He says, yeah, how do you know? I said, because I saw it. But I didn't go over and look at it. If I would have went over and looked at it, I would have bought it. But
that would have been a nice score.
That would have been a great score. But
I wonder if somebody in the group got it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hopefully they did.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Thank you. What do you got, Joe? What are you drinking?
Well, I'm doing, I have Early Times. It is the Bottled and Bond. People know me for drinking this one. And what I have, I like this is one of my go-to everyday drinkers. I like this, and I like my Old Granddad 114.
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
Because the Old Granddad is.
We got to do a
awesome.
114.
Yeah, we do.
We really do.
Yeah, we have quite a few of those, and
we should do. Just thinking about some of the, some stuff you can't get anymore, like Old Fitz, Bottled and Bond, and stuff like that. Plus, we have the 175 liters. I think we have 3 or 4 of those, which is just the regular Old Fitz, which is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Which always goes back to, we always like talking about how you can find some very good bourbons for under $25 easy.
Yeah.
But Jim Beam does a spectacular.
This is 24 and
series.
change.
Yeah,
and it's a liter though.
Yeah, it's a liter, right? So go ahead.
Yeah, I like
what
it.
Do you got? What do you got on the nose, bro?
This is a very singular drink. It's not like super complex. It's just real. I mean, what you get on the nose is kind of what you get on the palate. It's just heavy caramel to me and a little fruit, but it's just heavy caramel, a little fruit, and I'm just gonna taste it.
Give it a taste.
Just like you. To relax my mind so I can be free.
It's the same thing. It's heavy caramel, little fruit, little vanilla, maybe a little nutty, but it's really good. It's so easy.
It's like
It's 100 fruit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nuts. And it's nice because it is 100 proof. It's bottled in bond. This is I think the only Early Times that is a Kentucky is considered a Kentucky bourbon. Because this process of
I don't know
this
if you
one
want to read anything off of that. You
can. I can, yeah.
And I don't know. I don't remember what the year is.
And we've gone through this before.
Oh yeah.
These are I think these are 4 years old, 4 to 5 years old, something like that. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, whereas their regular Early Times is not, because they use used barrels instead of new barrels, and that stuff isn't bad either. I mean, I used to hate that stuff, but we recently did a show on that too, and that's what, like $12. It says Early Times Bottled and Bond, our tribute to historic bourbon whiskey making, honors the quality standards set forth by the U.S. Bottled and Bond Act of 1897. This act requires the whiskey to be the product of one distiller that is distilled at one American distillery during one distilling season. The whiskey must be aged for at least 4 years under the government supervision in a secured federal buildings and bottled at 100 proof. What's nice about Bottled and Bond, it's always consistent, and they're always good. I don't know, every Bottled and Bond product we've had, even if we didn't like the non-Bottled and Bond version, we like the Bottled and Bond version.
I agree.
And to anybody, this is a must-have for any bourbon drinker in their bar.
I agree.
You have to have one of these. And a lot of people thought they were discontinuing this in Ohio. They did not. They just took them off certain shelves because they didn't sell well here or there, and it cost them money to keep them on the shelves, actually. And they just put them on. I find this a lot at our local liquor store, Wine Reserve.
Market districts as well.
And also Solon Market District is where we get a lot of these. So it's a great drink, man. It's very singular, but it's very good. It's very well made.
It is.
It's very light at 100 proof. It goes down easy. And it's funny because my wife, who is a part of the group, Heather Jameson Clark in the group, she picks this over any other bourbon that I have at home right now. And most bourbons that we have in the collection here, she would pick this to drink. This is one of her favorites. All-time favorites, really.
So I get a little surprise. Do you want to top off before we move on?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why you playing? Why you
it's our job. We have to drink.
So everything that I found on Early Times shows that this is a number 4 char as well.
It is a number 4 char. There you go. And it is the darkest one out here, really. Look, I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
it's the darkest one out there. I didn't tell you this, but I just received 3 bottles of Fighting Cock, and I just my brother Stephen was talking about a rye whiskey, James Oliver, and I was.
Are they here now?
They are here now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and if I can get this other order through, then I have a little surprise for you. Something that we won't open, but we will open these. So that's all I'm gonna leave it at.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, go ahead, Karen. I'm sorry, honey.
No, you want me to do a little bit more
Yeah,
of the
go
char?
ahead.
Sonoma?
No.
Oh.
No, that was out when I ordered it. It came up.
Oh, that's
came
right.
up
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah, that's right.
So go ahead.
So we had talked about in order for it to be considered a bourbon, it has to be in a charred barrel. But I also found out that as you're charring the barrels, in order to be considered a bourbon, the cracks inside the barrel have to also be at least 1/8 of an inch thick. So most of the charred barrels are going to have cracks that are at least 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. And this allows the charring allows the wood to break down the starches in the wood and turns them into sugars. And that's why most bourbons tend to be sweet and smoky, because you get the sugar breaking down from the barrels as well as from the charring too,
Nice.
to help flavor those barrels.
Flavor.
So,
Exactly. Very nice. But that's on what barrel is that? Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry?
What barrel is what char is that? Or, for what barrel char? Rank char?
Just charring in general.
Charring in general.
Yeah, charring in general will break down the starches. I'm trying to find my note. I had something else. Charring also creates carbon on the barrel surface, which helps filter out the sulfur and the harsh tannins. I've never heard tannins in a bourbon or whiskey sense. I've heard tannins related to wine. So I thought it was interesting that they brought up that it kind of breaks down those harsh tannins, makes it more smooth.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I may be wrong on this, and if I am, I apologize. But I want to say it kind of takes the bitterness or the sourness out of it, maybe. I think that's what tannins
Yeah.
Is that
are.
what the yeah, I think that's what John was saying. Yeah.
I'm almost positive, but
Right.
unbelievable. Good deal. Good deal. What,
Well, I'm glad it does, because this came out awesome.
So did mine.
Right. It's
do you-
amazing how they figure this stuff out. Like, not just making the whiskey itself, and the process always starts out the same, then they age them differently and do all this different stuff, but then they came up with this burning the barrels thing and
Right.
making these barrels out of certain woods, and I don't know, it's just really cool to me how, literally a bunch of hillbillies out of the hills figured all this shit out, and it has become a, worldwide hundreds of billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Exactly. Albert, what are you drinking?
I am actually drinking some Four Roses tonight.
Sweet.
Four Roses is one of my chars, so to speak.
Yeah,
Right.
right?
So let me get a quick nose on it. Here's the thing. Here's what from the intelligence I've been gathering.
Oh dear. This is going to be interesting.
Listen, seriously, man.
I love Albert's sense of humor. He keeps
not
it
a
alive,
lot,
man.
Hey, man.
Go ahead, let's hear it.
Not a lot of not as a lot of alcohol on it.
You don't get a lot
You
of.
know, we were drinking some 1920s
yeah.
Forester or whatever before.
Right.
Not as much alcohol in this one.
The single barrel is 100 proof also, right?
Correct.
Nice oily textures. It's got coloration. As you know, you can't judge by the coloration, but I dig it. And let me go in here. Let me go in here real quick. Where's the music for it?
I meant to mention that in mine too. This is a nice thick
Wanna
heavy
taste
drink
it.
too. It's got real slow legs to it.
So she's laughing because I can't find the music for it.
Sir, can I have this
Can't
dance?
multitask.
I can't drink and play the music at the same time.
There
but
you go.
Here we are. I'm going in.
Round, doing my thing constantly with no worries, just to keep Murray. Just like you.
I'm gonna go in one more time.
Me going and keep me growing and keep me to eat from knowing what happens out there. It's not my concern. You wanna die, it's not my turn.
It's not too hot, as expected on the nose. It wasn't a lot of alcohol. I'm getting a lot of. There's a hint of peach.
Okay. So it's got some fruit to it.
I do. You know, there's light oak.
Okay.
I want to pull that out. And for those of you that are following us on Twitter and Facebook, I was one of the guys that launched a bit of history earlier. I said only a few distilleries were allowed to manufacture whiskey during the Prohibition era, and only for medicinal purposes. I thought that was interesting. One of them was Four Roses, and that is one reason that this brand has such a strong presence to this day. It never left the shelves, albeit that in 1920 and 1933 you needed a doctor's prescription and they collected your pint back in that day as a pharmacy instead of a liquor store. So that's something.
Well, it still
You know,
holds
Four
true
Roses.
today. You get sick, people say, have a sip of whiskey.
I remember
drink
as a
some
kid,
whiskey.
man. I remember as a kid for toothaches and everything else, man. They pulled out the whiskey or the port wine.
You faked a lot of toothaches.
I
didn't you?
did. I did. I
My
did.
mom
My
would
brother.
do
My
that.
brother. His whole life he faked toothaches.
I don't know. My mom. I don't know about you, Joe, man. My mom would put it in tea. Put a little bit in tea.
Sure.
A lot of
Yep.
allergies when I was
Right.
younger.
My dad rubbed it on our gums when we were teething as
Yeah.
babies.
So.
Get the cotton ball and you put it in the cotton ball and stick the cotton ball.
My
in.
dad used a Q-tip. He'd be like, dip a little bit in the bottle, and as he's swabbing your mouth, he's
One for you,
Now
one for
it's
me.
little for dad.
Hey, you had to raise you 4 kids.
He's like, hurry up, your mother's still at work. Drink this. Shut up.
Hey, wait a minute. Maybe that's why we're all drinking.
Yeah, I think that explains why we're all sitting around the whiskey round table right about now.
Right.
Hey, cheers, everyone! Cheers.
Cheers.
I love you guys.
Love you too, man.
Cheers.
Pass it around. Nice.
That's the greatest song.
It is. One of these days we have to do a White Lightning show.
There we go.
I mean, we did one before for all of our pre-shows, just kind of learning. But yeah, we have to do that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Karen.
All right, so for tonight's show, I picked out Russell's Reserve. It's a 90 proof number 4 char. I picked it. I haven't had it before, not this kind. I picked it. Greg and I were at Lizardville a week or so ago, and they had a barrel pick Russell's Reserve,
Right.
and it was absolutely amazing. The guy that we were that was helping us, he was actually the one that helped pick the barrel.
Correct.
And he was very, very knowledgeable. Lizardville is a great selection, great price. Check them out. They're all over Northeast Ohio. But so because I did that at Lizardville, I thought I would pick it tonight. I have no idea what to expect. So
Yeah, you had the rye at Lizardville.
I did have the rye.
Yeah, this
You're
is
right.
not the rye.
This is not the
We
rye.
have the rye, but that's something we'll do for another show. That's another thing we can pull out and do.
I don't have any history on it, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it's a light
Take a
show
whiff.
today. It's just a light show today. We're not in depth. We're just having fun today.
I
Same
smell,
as every other day.
Amen.
I
Amen.
smell whiskey and I smell.
You smell whiskey?
Oak.
That's good. Come on, Helen Keller. Close your eyes and pretend.
I'm not getting a lot. I'm getting fruity out of it.
Okay, could be.
Surprisingly.
Could be.
So,
We don't know.
I'm going in.
Go in. Come on, Albert.
It tastes like cherry fruit.
Could be fruity. Sure. We don't know.
The darker fruit.
Mhm.
It's really good. It's smooth. I can't compare it to anything else that I've had because my list isn't that long. But
Russell's Reserve. That's what Wild Turkey, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
It
Wild
is
Turkey
Wild
product.
Turkey.
William Russell. Is that right?
I
Okay.
think so, yeah.
so that kind of explains why I like it because most of the Wild Turkey items that I've tried, my favorite is Long Branch.
hmm
Explains why I do like this.
Their
Smooth.
101 is fantastic.
Like it.
It's very
Good
good.
stuff, you guys.
You want to try a second
You
shot
wanna
of it?
try
You want
some?
to try a little taste of that
Sure.
too? Come on, Albert, get with it. No, she doesn't get no music.
She doesn't get no music, man.
Unbelievable.
One of the things you guys didn't talk about are the legs.
Right.
These are really, really long.
It's the record
long
skipping.
legs.
It's the dirty record skipping, man. There's nothing there.
What?
Sorry.
What? So you said it's smooth. You don't get a lot of alcohol.
I don't
into
get
it?
burned
No.
at all. It's warm but not hot. Smooth.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it. I
like
would
it.
definitely drink this one again. I know before we started to go on, you were talking about we've got the 6-year over there,
6-year rye.
6-year rye. So it'd be interesting to compare this to the 6-year
Right.
rye. So
Why
maybe-
not?
You just write that.
Maybe a little later
Here all night,
we
aren't
can
you?
do that. So
Yeah. No, we will. Why don't we after the show we'll bust open a rye and we'll try it anyway, and then we can do it on the show as well.
give it
Yeah.
a shot.
What else you got for char barrels?
So what I have, char barrels. So mostly the U.S. is where you're going to find your charred barrels. Like I said before, it's got to be charred to be considered a bourbon. Europeans, they mostly toast the barrels instead of charring their barrels. Toasting isn't going to give you a sweeter flavor. So if you like spicy or hotter, they tell you to go with the toasted barrels. We were kind of talking about the White Lightning.
Correct.
So there is one out, and one of my first entries into whiskey was Jim Beam's Ghost, or Jacob's Ghost,
Right.
is what it's
Jacob's,
called.
right. Right. Jacob's Ghost.
Jacob's Ghost. That is, it's a white whiskey. It's only aged for 1 year, and it is in uncharred barrels, so it's a whiskey, not a bourbon. That's I don't remember it. It's been so long since I've tried it, but I remember
It's
it
really
being
good.
a little hot, little for me. But again, it was early in my whiskey tasting days, so I may not have just had the palate for it. at
We
the
had some of
time.
that recently, right?
We did.
Yeah. I thought it was really sweet.
I like it.
personally.
I love Jim Beam products.
Yeah.
Jim Beam products. You know, I always say I call it the founders, the forefathers. Even though I'm probably speaking out of turn, but meaning that when I was growing up, it was Wild Turkey, it was Jim Beam, it was Jack Daniels. All those
Bushmills.
Bushmills, believe it or not. Yeah, right. So.
I love
Oh.
Bush, so
Mills.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness, shaved or
No, I
Barrel proof.
don't mind the Bush, but I appreciate it.
so you like barrel proof? Okay, good. So those are all the stuff that I grew up with, and then when you got into whiskeys, I remember my father and grandfathers and uncles and that drinking, Seagram 7 or Canadian Club or even
Alberta,
Chivas Regal.
Canadian.
That's what they drink. Those were, we
know
don't
about
have
Alberta, bro.
Chivas Regal. Yeah, that is. And
Really good.
Seagrams.
Seagrams, right?
Your grandparents.
My grandparents.
Every
right.
morning.
Every morning. Yeah. Remember that as a kid.
Shot of Seagrams.
Shot of Seagrams, and it's I wish
I had a guy I used to work
my
with.
grandparents and my father back in the day when they drank, they didn't have nowhere near the choices that there are out today.
Oh, no.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, it was something else. It was not I mean, Canadian whiskey was the thing back in the day.
Yeah.
And Scotch was Johnny Walker and like I said Chivas and all that stuff and
Jameson.
Jameson, right? And you know, you look on the liquor shelf too. I mean, I remember going in there as a kid. It was like, you know, there was like maybe
little shelf.
20 different things. Right.
Right.
And it was all in the same area.
Yeah, right.
You know?
And then the rest was all beer.
All beer.
And
That's
shit.
exactly right.
Tequila and
Yeah.
mostly I remember just like small whiskey shelves and vodka.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
No.
Yo, guys, and Karen. I think next week I'm gonna bring over that mezcal I brought back from San Diego with the Scorpion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know this is a whiskey show, man, but maybe after the show or before, you know, maybe we can feature something. I'm thinking we'll take a shot
Feature
at it.
anything. I mean, if it's
We'll try it.
Scorpion, dude. Maybe you can
Whiskey-ish.
eat the Scorpion, but you know,
Alcohol.
maybe we'll get all fuckered up on the next show. We'll see.
Well, if we're going to do that, we're going to bring out the Dobell as well. Just to give you an idea of some of the different flavors and the different smooths, how some of that could be so smooth. So,
Oh, no,
you know.
you didn't. Dobella's fantastic.
Yeah, Dobell's
Dobell
fantastic.
Black.
Is right.
Yeah.
And what is that?
That's a tequila.
Oh, okay.
Anybody that I've ever turned on, Dave Samrock, Dave, you were the one that turned us on to Dobell, and now we're a fan. So
The only
Thank
tequila
you.
I ever had that I kind of liked was, I don't know, it's probably gonna be controversial. I haven't had it in years, but like years, I never really liked tequila at all.
Thank you, Dave,
I've never
for
had
turning
really
us
good
on to it.
tequila, so. But your wife had that tarantula, I think it was here one time.
Tarantula. Yeah. I think we fly.
I think it was like black licorice kind of tasting, right?
I don't remember.
I
really
don't remember either. It's been some
I'm
years.
not a tequila fan, but there is some
Yeah.
tequilas that I
Yeah,
enjoy.
well, if it's black and furry and it sinks its fangs into you, you're
Yeah.
probably not going to remember either.
That's why you're gonna eat the Scorpion. I got a pair of long tweezers. We're gonna pull that bitch out of the bottle.
I'll bet you $1.
Joe's eating the Scorpion, not me, man. I had to schlep that bottle through
What is
two
that? Is
TSA
that it's
agents.
tequila that has a worm in the bottom, right?
The worm or the Scorpion.
It's a mezcal.
Mezcal, yeah.
Scorpiano
It's so
mezcal.
nasty.
I've never ate the worm.
I ate the
I don't
worm.
think I've watched people do it.
I'm
I've
going to
done it.
watch
I
you
won't
guys.
even
Supposedly it's
drink
real.
a tequila.
In college, I ate the worm in college.
Now, is that true? Is there like a high concentration of alcohol in that worm or something? Or
I was
it's
so
just
drunk
like-
I can't
you know,
remember.
Did
It was
you
a bet.
chew the worm,
No,
or did you
absorbs
just?
all that
I bit it a couple times and I swallowed it. You know, this was again. You know, we're talking about the wrestling team, so.
Right.
You know, we used to play quarters for goldfish. I mean, you know.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who else we got in the
Ne-
chart?
never.
That's everything.
That's everything?
Never tempt a wrestler to do anything because he will do it. So,
Never say I dare you.
and yeah,
Right.
never say I dare you. Exactly right. I dare you. So, all right, you got. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I got some news. So new Riff Rye, I seen on the co-op that people are always looking for it, and they're selling it to each other and stuff like that. It's readily available wherever
It
they
is.
have new Riff. It's out there. I see tons of it around us, and also a place I always shout out to everybody, and some people seem to be controversial about that one too, is Solon Market District. They seem to always have a lot of bottles of the rye, the single barrel, the
Yep.
bottled and bond. There's plenty of early times bottled and bond around. I see people asking about it. I see it at most Giant Eagles, so it should be there, and some of the local places have it too. Bourbon distillers are drawing record numbers of visits. What I mean by bourbon distillers is in Kentucky. Distilling generates more than 20,100 jobs in Kentucky. There were 19 distilleries in 2009, 68 as of last spring is the count so far. So that's quite a big jump in 9 years. Just Kentucky alone made $8.6 billion a year.
Holy
Their
shit.
inventory rose 60% in 10 years. So also MGP released its own whiskey. It's supposed to be it's called 8 and Sand. And 8 and Sand is the fastest notch in a locomotive's accelerator. It's a blend of many different fine bourbons and other whiskeys, is all I can find on it, and that's what they say. It's fine bourbons and other whiskeys. It's put together by MGP Distilling Team. MSRP is $29.99, and of course it's not in Ohio.
No,
It's
Kidding.
part of their new,
everything's in Ohio,
right. Yeah,
except bourbon.
it's part of their new Rack House series of bourbons or whiskeys they're releasing. That's the only one I could find that is. It must be the first one they're releasing. Old Forester. I saw there was an update on the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op. It's supposed to be somewhere in Ohio. and they're going to have another update and as far as that goes on which local store is going to get that, so we can pick it up, and you'll have Hank and Carl on the east and west side. Whichever one you bought from, they'll supply it. And that's it. That's all I got on the news, man.
All right.
Anything else you guys want to add?
No, I think we should have a drink.
Okay.
All right. So here's your bottle.
You guys want to try any of someone else's?
Actually, I'd like to try some of the Russells.
You want the Russells?
Yeah. I haven't had that in a long time.
You got the napkins there?
Yep. We tried the Angel's Envy. I've had it, but I want to try it.
Angel's Envy.
I'm sorry. 4 Roses.
Mark, what do you want?
I'll try the
I
Russell.
want bourbon.
I want bourbon.
I do.
I'll take some bourbon. Oh my.
You want the Russells?
Yeah, please.
I gotta go with my girl Heather, see what this early times is all about.
It's good, man.
Make me call my homie on the phone like there's something new out that got me in the zone. Just that feeling got
So
me. I was
what we're doing is
and
we're
it
wiping
got
out our glasses to make them clean for the next, so you don't have
I didn't
any.
wipe mine out.
Okay, well, some of us.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm going to give my own little opinion here on Russell's Reserve. I kind of get that dark fruit kind of smell.
Mm-hmm.
And what proof is that?
I believe it's 90.
90 proof.
That's a sweeter bourbon and fruity.
It
It's
is.
nice, man. It's really good. That's a 10-year-old bourbon for what? $30-something dollars?
Yeah, it was close to $40. Yeah.
For a 10-year-old drink? That's
Yeah,
good,
that's
man.
good. I
Is
agree.
that readily available? I know you can see the Russell's Reserve.
Yes, it is readily available.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't always see the rye,
Right.
Okay.
but the regular Russell's Reserves.
I've been seeing more of the rye lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I
And
just
that's
want to thank
6
you
year.
guys. Thanks again.
The 4 Roses, the nose
They're
on
like,
it is unbelievable.
Saturday night, Friday
Yeah, I'd
night
like to
here,
try that,
drinking
too.
with my friends.
So.
No other group of people I want to be drinking with on my Friday
Let me
night.
see that.
Cheers.
That for us. Oh, yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
Maple.
Clarky!
Maple in the early times.
Yo, check your Facebook, dog. I was like, what's up? When are you coming over to Clarky? I tagged you in that.
That's nice.
We're getting ready to shoot a new
Yes.
episode, and this is going well.
Greg, what did you do this time around?
I did the 4 Roses, single barrel, 100 proof.
What do you think about that?
I love it. I love the smell. It's fantastic. You want
Yeah.
to smell it? I mean, it's very consistent. Unbelievable. You want to try it?
No, do your thing. Do your thing.
I've been doing my thing.
So what'd you think about?
I like the early times. It's really good. I get a maple-ish caramel flavor.
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
heavy on that. Yep.
It's good. Heather, good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she loves that one. I was shocked too when she's like, man, I really like that. She says, I pick this over anything that you have on your shelf. I'm like, wow, cool. Okay.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
Because
Dude,
you
I
got
never-
some unbelievable stuff on the shelf.
I
That's
follow
all
it. So
Right.
I can't help but see like Heather's post up on Facebook or whatever. It is the funniest post ever, like about her kid, your kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What did they do?
I mean-
what happened to Violet's curls? I gotta
Violet,
know.
Leo.
Whoa, I didn't see
love
she posted that. I
watching,
didn't
like
see that.
reading. I'm like waiting with
But you saw the
anticipation. What's gonna
kids,
happen
right?
next?
Yeah.
It's so
So-
funny.
So do
What-
tell. What
kids are
happened
adorable.
today? They are
Liam,
sweet.
my son Liam gave himself and my daughter, he's 4, he gave himself and my daughter, who's 2, haircuts today.
I told Heather I want pictures. I haven't seen them yet. So
Wait a minute.
Actually, her haircut came out really good.
He cut off my godchild's curls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
like-
love
and
them.
what
It's like you
kills
can
me
just
is
grow
that
them back.
what kills me is that she sat still long enough for him to do it.
I'll tell you what. Last
She
week
loves
Saturday.
Liam.
Last week
That's
I know, she's
Saturday.
always so busy.
He crawled up on my lap, and I literally beat the hell out of that kid, and he was back every minute for more. He just loved it. I mean, I was not roughhousing him, but I was, pretending like I was dropping him and all that stuff, and he's he was giggling like, that's the first time. I mean, because they're always standoffish, and plus my size. Some
who
kids.
Let the Yeti in?
Yeah, who let the Yeti in the house? Does he shave his back?
People at home were like,
but
seriously beat the hell out of that kid? No, dude.
But it took him I don't know, 5 years to warm up.
Right.
But we had a blast. We had a blast. I got some cars for him too. So.
Yeah, he's always telling me stuff too, like, if I yell at him for something, he's like, I'm gonna call Uncle Greg because he's a cop. You know what I mean? And he's gonna bust you. It's like, oh, okay, right?
So, and I heard not only were Violet's curls gone, but Liam had a bald spot. Was he trying to look like you, or?
I don't know what he was doing. He wanted to trim him because
maybe you want to look like his Uncle
I
Greg.
give him a buzz cut. Yeah, I give him a buzz cut in the summertime, and he tried to do it with scissors. So he cut like a stripe down the center of his head.
So
it's
like
Heather's
he has nothing here?
Yeah, well, Heather cleaned him up and stuff, and she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I was like, you can't. You just gotta wait for it to grow back in.
It's a reverse mohawk.
Right.
I love it.
I got shears if you want to trim them down.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, but it's like it's winter. It's like I don't want to fucking shave his head now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True. That's true.
Oh,
They make hats.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I bought him a hat.
Yeah, what do you do? Come on.
I swear.
Wear a hat, right?
A hat.
That's it.
See, there you go. No, that was great. I saw that and I'm like, oh god, I gotta hear this story.
I didn't know that. When did that happen?
Today.
Oh, no kidding.
I
Yeah.
forgot to tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Little shit.
But he just got her back curls, and there's still curls back there, but he got the real long ones. And I was looking at her, I was like, not bad, man. He actually did a pretty good job, dude.
Tried to even her out,
Yeah.
Did he use scissors and like a razor, or like
No,
how
just
did
scissors.
So what?
Just
How did he get?
Because his hair's longer on top, so he just cut it straight down the middle.
I love those.
Good
kids.
parenting, Joe.
Blame Heather, I was at work.
Good parenting, Heather.
Yeah.
Naomi didn't do any of that. Did she do any of that?
Well, no, I remember one day, she was in the bathtub, and I had left her alone for like seconds, and I went in the other room to grab something.
You need me with?
And as I'm in the other room, I hear Naomi yell, "Mom, one of my legs doesn't have hair anymore." She had grabbed my razor and shaved one of her legs.
Right.
But as far as her hair, she never...
Fine, man. I just gotta take a leak.
All right.
I've been drinking. You know what kind of night it is.
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
We've been drinking. You've been drinking.
You can tell he's been drinking.
I'll be right back. I hope my mom doesn't see this episode.
Don't hurry.
Yeah.
Take your time.
We'll tag her in it. We'll send it to her.
Try the new bathroom up by the lake.
It's like that commercial where the guy's like, "Yeah, I got a calculator," where it's a calculator like a cat or whatever, and the girl gets this phone call from like TurboTax, and they're like, and she's like, "Do you have time to go over your taxes?" "Yeah, line by line, and take your time," because she doesn't want to talk to the weirdo. It's a weirdo.
Right.
Oh, my
Anyway,
goodness.
yeah, she shaved her legs one time in the bathtub, so,
Yeah.
and I would, while we're talking about Naomi, I just want to congratulate her. I know nobody cares, but she's my only child, our only child, and she just bought her first house in Philly, so I want to thank her and her congratulate her and her husband, Kevin, on being new homeowners. They're moving in tomorrow, so I hope they celebrate with lots of Jameson, and, enjoy the new home.
I'm sure they'll be fine. And I know we have to go out there and take them some furniture that we have.
And build the fence.
Build a fence.
You guys want to come? Philly?
Build a fence.
Party at Naomi's. Yeah, they've got, they're in the city, and
They're
all
in a
those
row house.
houses.
Yeah.
Right. Like the
And
brownstones.
they've got their
stuff.
own little backyards. And right now, their backyard is just like a chain link fence. So we want to make it more privatized and
We'll give it
Like
neater.
6 foot.
So I'll
Like
go
I have
6
the big post.
Yeah, 6.
6 foot
Yes,
post.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted. So, she.
The white picket fence.
that's
No white
understand.
picket fence. That's not even Naomi. She doesn't want to hear
Dude,
about a
could
white
you at
picket
least
fence.
fix your belt before I have to see you?
Just got done trimming my... Hey, check it out. It's like a bonsai tree.
No.
I know. You don't really see much on a bonsai tree.
I was going
But,
to say, I don't have the, what is that?
Yeah, so she
Magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass.
so
thank
she
you.
sent the pictures of the place. It's beautiful. The whole place has been completely remodeled from top to bottom, from the roof to the basement, literally.
Yeah, I've
The roof
seen
to the
that.
basement.
Yeah.
So, you know me, I'm outdoors, so I like a nice patio and all that, and we all know that. So, you know, I said to her, I was like, right away, I'm like, oh. She's like, well, if you want to pay for it, you can put the fence up and do all the stuff you want to do. I'm like, well, you know, I have no problem doing that, but I'm not going, me personally, I'm not going to do it. I'll pay somebody to do it, you know, put the privacy fence up and, you know, so on the other side of the block, if you will, they have the same row houses, but so everybody's yard is fenced in the back, okay, chain linked in the back. So this is an old area of the city that is now being, like you look in Ohio City, people are moving in there and they're refurbishing stuff and they're making it, you know, bringing it back to life, you know. So there's a walk alleyway, so to say, that's like, I don't know, 6 feet wide. So if you have to get out of your house, you can go out the back and go down the alley, you know, whatever. You know, if there's a fire or this or that, and you can't get out the front, you go out the back, whatever, safety stuff. So I told her, I said, I have no problem doing that. So I have some really cool stuff that I bought for, or I should say not I, but Karen and I have bought for her back patio. Plus her backyard faces north, which is good because, you know, the sun comes up in the east and sets in the west. So, you know, she won't get all that direct sunlight, so to say. So,
Like my house,
so
all summer long.
In like a good little dago, she's
Never
got
brought
like
on my
a
dad.
planter's box that she's going to grow tomatoes in.
tomatoes and basil. Good
Atta
girl.
girl.
Daddy taught her. She likes to cook, man. She used to sit at that kitchen table and watch me cook, and then she got so good at watching me cook, she started telling me what I was doing wrong.
Right. Yeah, that's good, man.
And I was mad one day. She's like, "You're not doing that right." Finally, I go, she was like 6. I'm like, "Get the hell out of the kitchen before I choke you."
Well, one time you're like, oh, you want to make the meatballs?
Yeah.
You make the meatballs.
I said, she's all like, yeah, you know, why are you putting that in there? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, you know, if you think you do a better job, step on up. So she's like, I will. She got off her chair. She was like 10 at the time. She comes over and I like put everything in the bowl. So what do you want in there? I want this. And she made the best meatballs I ever ate.
Even your mother said.
Even my mother said the same thing. She goes, oh my God, this kid can make some friggin' meatballs.
And your mother didn't compliment.
No,
any
my
people.
mother didn't compliment anybody. No. I don't even think she knew how to spell compliment. So, but anyway. So,
We'll give her a break. She didn't know how to spell nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier.
My mother, we called her,
God love her.
my mother had 2 nicknames. Donzilla, her name was Madonna, we called her Donzilla, and Scarface. And because I learned the word fuck before I learned the words mom and dad. So just to give you an idea, my father, who God rest his soul, he never said shit if he had a mouthful. So I only heard my father. I can count on one hand how many times I ever heard my father use foul language. But I'm my mother's kid. So.
And you thought your dad's name was something until one day your mom said Joe's coming home.
Asshole.
Yeah.
I love your dad, man.
My dad's a great guy, man.
It's an honor and a privilege to have
guy.
met him when I did.
And spent a lot of
Hard
time with
worker.
him. Yeah.
Truly an inspiration, man.
Yes, sir.
A lot of great stories too.
A lot of
The
good
old-
lot of great
stories,
stories,
yeah.
man.
My dad was a good dude. Well
It's
known.
the truth. Joe, you
Lay
know.
low.
Lay low.
Oh, yeah.
Lay low! Lay low!
That's the whole story. So
It's another show.
yeah.
Another show, another
Wrap
day,
it up.
another time.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. All right, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed some of the information and all the conversation and all that crap we just did. And
Joe, quit
Yeah.
slurring your speech.
So just want
So
to
Whiskey Roundtable. Thank you for watching.
have a safe weekend. Drink responsibly.
Drink
we'll see you next week.
responsibly. We love you guys.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Be
Be
safe.
safe.
Don't walk and drink and drive. No, I'm just kidding. That's it tonight. I'm not saying anything else.
Lightning.
We are your hosts. I'm Joe Clark.
Big G.
I'm Albert Santilli.
Karen Helen Keller.
Night, everyone.
Be safe.